Well, thank you, Dr. Saiba, for your keynote address and valuable comments on the book. To me, they reflected your own sense of patriotism and commitment to protecting Pakistan's national interests at all levels. Uh, our next speaker is Ms. Safia Malik, Research Officer at CISSS. She will present book review of Ambassador Zamir Akram's book. Ms. Safia Malik is Research Officer at CISSS. She is an ample scholar at the Department of International Relations, University of Karachi, and holds a master's degree in international relations from the same university. She has worked as an assistant researcher with a faculty member of Prince Mohammed bin Fahad University, Saudi Arabia. Since joining CISSS in 2021, MS Safia has written many book reviews that were published in various HEC recognized journals, including Journal of Contemporary Studies NDU, Journal of Security and Strategic Analysis, Strategic Vision Institute Islamabad, and Margala Papers NDU.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Mr. Kazi, for a very nice introduction. Distinguished guest speakers, respected guests, students, and faculty member of IoBM, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. I feel honored to present a review of a very comprehensive book written by Ambassador Zamir Akram, titled Security Imperatives, Pakistan's Nuclear Deterrence and Diplomacy, which focuses on Pakistan's nuclear deterrence and diplomatic efforts to deal with multiple challenges faced by Pakistan since its inception. The book is very largely based on the personal experience of the author, spending over 38 years in the Pakistan Foreign Service. Ambassador Zamir Akram's last assignment was as the permanent representative of Pakistan to the United Nations in Geneva, where he made use of his diplomatic skills to advance Pakistan's interest while dealing with various United Nations organizations, in particular Conference on Disarmament. As already have mentioned by Dr. Bakai, that the book is divided into 14 chapters that covers more Pakistan's foreign policy, including nuclear diplomacy from 1947 to 2020. It is a valuable addition to the existing literature, and it is an indispensable reading for understanding the rationale of Pakistan's nuclear program. Although I am supposed to present a book review of the whole book, but I feel that it would not be possible within a short span of time that is given to me. I will therefore highlight the main points of the book in the author's own words. Ladies and gentlemen, since the emergence of Pakistan as an independent state, it has been confronted security challenges coming from its eastern neighbor, India, from very different days. As underscored by the author in the book, the combination of security threats due to Pakistan's geopolitical comparison and the legacy of history forced the country from its inception to seek external assistance and became the basis for seeking closer partnership with the United States and joining the four alliances. That includes, number one, the Mutual Defense Agreement in 1954, the CETO 1954 and CETO 1955, and the Bilateral Defense Cooperation Agreement in 1959. Ambassador Zamir Akram has underlined that India's deep-rooted enmity with Pakistan, the Kashmir dispute, and Indian aspiration for regional hegemony are the real cause of tension between the two neighbors.
Thank you, Safia, for a very well written and well presented book review. It's never easy to write a book review because you have to summarize hundreds of pages in 2 to 3 pages. So yours was a good one. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Mr. Ikram Sahgal. He is chairman Pathfinder Group of Pakistan, which includes two of the largest private security companies in the country, namely Pakistan Security and Management Services Limited and Vakin Hut Pakistan PVT Limited. He is a defense analyst and a security expert. Mr. Sahgal is also involved in various national and international organizations. He is a member of World Economic Forum, International Organization for Migration, Director East West Institute, a US-based think tank, and member World Economic Forum Global Agenda Council for Counterterrorism. He is a regular op-ed contributor to newspapers and frequently appears on current affairs programs. You have the floor, sir.
obviously I'm prejudiced. And he asked me, he said, if you read through the book, and honestly, I told him, no, I have scanned through it. But I scanned through it enough. Because some knowledge everywhere. And obviously, some of the facts struck me of things that I did not know. And I did pick up those. Because obviously, I could never go into the intricacies of what was. But I know enough to know that, he has really produced something that needed to be done. To create, to first of all, dispel a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of misperception, to have facts, to make sure the facts and sort of bring out the facts as they are, not live on myths. We live on myths. And one of the myths has been referred to where we went through a horrendous period in 2004 when almost the nuclear program came to a stop because of proliferation. And that was not even a conventional, that was a commercial enterprise which was being arrested. When you look at our nuclear program, and you look at the way it has been larger, you ask yourself, is this nuclear program in the same country that we are going through at the moment? And all the problems that we faced over the years, how have we managed to keep this nuclear deterrence intact? And it has been a combination of everything, whether it was finance, whether it was diplomacy, whether it was security. So I would just like to go through what I know as the KISS formula. Keep it simple, stupid. And that is, there is a need for it. And the need is well explained by speakers before me, and I'm sure that the leader will talk about it, so I'm not going to dwell upon it. There is a need. We have a foe that is implacable. The real case has only come out after Mr. Modi. Now the real venom that was ingrained in them for so many thousands of years that has now come out. And it was displayed. And because of that, we need a credibility. And the nuclear thing provided the means of the overwhelming conventional security that we have to offset. But there is a need to guard it. There is a need to first of all make it. There is a need, and we have to have a method. We have a method how to go about it. And I think, whereas I must give credit to people who write up to the people who created the nuclear bomb, people who went on finding exploded the bomb in response to the Indian state. And then, of course, when it came about, when SPD was created, and again, let me tell you, how much of you know about SPD? Thank God we don't know much about SPD. We very nicely created something which was kept confidential. So, again, institution of excellence, which is there, Pakistani made, Pakistani deterrent, but kept this. And I think if you go through enough, I've gone through that's the reading of this book, because when he was the ambassador in the last ambassador posting, I was with him because of many reasons. I used to go and spend some holidays. Of course, Davos was there. He would be there with us in Davos. But we asked him this question because he was dealing with nuclear and he offered a job in the same philosophy. And this was just ideally suited, not for him, but for the organization to have something like this. They needed him. They needed somebody who knew actually at the ground level and at the diplomatic level and at the security level, the new get. And as somebody, let me tell you, was not afraid to stand up and tell the truth. That is the thing. And I know that because Ambassador Zamir Akram does not know, but I've had long discussions with, let us say, pretty looking for Dr. Graham Allison, right? There were Kennedy School of Government, and number of
Thank you, sir, for your very insightful comments. Uh, we couldn't agree more with you that the relationship between India and Pakistan has been most difficult under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, and it's because of our nuclear program that we have been able to effectively deal with acts of aggression from India under Prime Minister Modi. The best example of that is the Balakot incident, when on 27 February 2019, Pakistan was able to uh, shoot down two Indian aircraft and capture one pilot, who was later returned as a gesture of goodwill. On subsequently, we heard Prime Minister Modi talking about Qatal Kirat. However, they could not muster enough strength to attack Pakistan again, because they had uh, seen our ability as well as the resolve to respond effectively to the act of aggression that was committed on Balakot on 26 February 2019. Our next speaker is the author of the book, Ambassador Zamir Akram. He is currently advisor to Strategic Plans Division, Government of Pakistan, as Pakistan's ambassador and permanent representative to the UN and other international organizations in Geneva from 2008 to 2015. He played a leading role in disarmament, human rights, refugees, humanitarian affairs, trade and development, intellectual property, labor and health, among other issues. As additional foreign secretary in the Prime Minister's office, he was responsible for Pakistan's foreign security, economic, energy, health, and education policies. Ambassador Akram joined the Foreign Service in 1978 and served in the former Soviet Union, India, the United States twice, and the United Nations twice. He has dealt with key issues including Afghanistan, nuclear non proliferation, arms control and disarmament, disaster response and recovery, UN reforms, human rights, and counterterrorism in his career. Ambassador Akram holds a master's degree in international relations from the London School of Economics and Politics and Political Science. He served as honorary dean of the Geneva School of Diplomacy during 2010, where he was awarded an honorary doctorate. Ambassador Akram retired from the Foreign Service of Pakistan in October 2015. Sir, you have the floor. Well, thank you very much, sir, for your very detailed comments on your own book. And it was a pleasure to listen to you. Thank you for sharing additional information with us based on facts, your personal interaction, and your experience of serving in key capitals. Now, I have the pleasure to invite President of IoBM, Mr. Talib Syed Karim. Uh, He is serving as the president of this prestigious institution and holds a bachelor's degree in systems engineering and a master's degree in economics with specialization in international trade, both from the University of Arizona, USA. He has worked for a financial institution for 10 years before joining the institute full-time in 1997. He has also taught economics at the University of Arizona, USA, and IoBM. He also attended the Oxford Advanced Management and Leadership Program at Oxford University. He is an executive council member of the Management Association of Pakistan and the president of Marketing Association of Pakistan, and represents the institute in various associations nationally and internationally. Sir.
Thank you. Ambassador Zamir Akram, Mr. Akram Saidul, Akram Akhari, Ambassador Khalilullah, Ambassador Chair Baloch, faculty members, point that Mr. Akram raised about education and the role of private sector and the institutions, I totally agree with that. 28 million school kids out of school in this country. I think there's a not just this threat on our neighbors, but a threat of this generation. As someone mentioned in our conference yesterday, that at least 28 million kids grow up with no skills and no prepared. So also we take pride in a very
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your concluding remarks. I wish to take this opportunity to thank you for your consent to host this great event here. And also grateful to Dr. Huma Bakai for suggesting IoBM for this event. And as mentioned by President of IoBM, this really has been a very successful event. Now the floor is open to questions. Please.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. My name is Dr. Shahida Wizarat, and I'm Dean, College of Economics and Social Development at the Institute of Business Management. I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate Ambassador Zamir Akram for a very, very interesting. I had come here just for a short while because I had something else to do, but I ended up, I just couldn't get up because the discussion was so absorbing, and so it was very, very interesting. I just, towards the end, you mentioned about India acquiring that, preemptive strike deterrence. So I wanted to know whether India has already acquired it, or is it in the process of acquiring it?
Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, I want to tell you and everyone else here that your sister, I think Talat Wazarat, was my teacher in Karachi University. So if you could convey my best regards to her, I would be very grateful to you. As of now, the Indians are not in a position to launch such a strike because of time factors. I did not go into what our response is to this, but I'm glad you asked me this question so I can dilate on what our response is. Basically, again, we were faced with the choice of actually matching India weapon for weapon as such, and that would mean developing our own ballistic missile defense system or other systems which the Indians are relying upon to basically be able to launch a preemptive strike, which is that if you have an effective ballistic missile defense system and you launch a preemptive strike and you destroy most of your opponent's capabilities to respond, then whatever is left, they can be taken care of or neutralized by a ballistic missile defense system on the one hand, and what is called as a second strike capability, which is a sea-based, mainly, I mean, the best reliable second strike capability can be a sea-based second strike capability, so with surface and particularly with submarines carrying nuclear warheads. So this is what the Indians would like to believe or would like to develop to be able to launch such a preemptive strike. The debate for us has been whether we need to match them in these capabilities. That is a quantitative response, or we need to make a qualitative response. And we have decided to actually penetrate the Indian ballistic missile defense system. No ballistic missile system defense system is 100% secure, not even the American one. So our capabilities that we have developed involve land, sea, and air-launched cruise missiles, the Babar cruise missiles. And these are, as you know, terrain-hugging, maneuverable missiles that can penetrate that can basically go under the range of the radar. So the radar has every BMD system has a accompanying radar system. And it can work up to a certain height, and below that height, it's blind. So the idea is that the cruise missiles will go in that blind zone to hit the BMD system. That's number one. Number two, we have developed what was tested a few months ago, which is a MIRVed Ghaznavi, which is a MIRVed or a multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle, which is basically a missile which carries several warheads. And both the cruise and the Ababil, the Babar and the Ababil, are capable of carrying both conventional warheads and nuclear warheads. So they are in both roles. They can be employed in both roles. Third, India is a large country, and India's strategic targets are considerable. So even if we just focus on the military targeting, that would be sufficient to ensure deterrence or convince the Indians that they will have to suffer consequences that would be unacceptable to them. On the sea-based deterrent side, we do not have nuclear-powered submarines like India has, but we do have regular diesel-powered submarines, which we have equipped with ballistic missiles. And also some of our surface ships are equipped with ballistic missiles, so we do have a capability that can counter the Indians at sea as well. And so we do have a second strike capability. If it was needed, we would be able to use our submarines and surface ships for that purpose. So this is basically how we are responding, and the Indians recognize this. My point is that we should never lower our guard or assume that we are safe, because it's a continuous race that we are involved in.
We can have two more questions.
Sir,
Please.
thank you, Mr. Chair. This is Sarfraz Kurejo from Shah Abdul Latif University, Khairpur. I'm a student of international relations and a faculty member. So I have deepest appreciation for the author, Ambassador Zamir Akram Saab, for writing the exact response against the Western narrative, negative narrative, and even the Indian narrative. So the book is the need of our and this needs to be intellectually debated, not only the big cities of Pakistan. I do offer and seek submission to the August floor. The Might people, Madam Rector is sitting here, Dr. Huma, and the Rector and Chairperson, CEO of IoBM, and the great person, and I would say the son of the soil from Pakistan, who is always in search of finding the path. So I do offer the floor at Shah Abdul Latif University. The youth of Pakistan, our nation, they must be enlightened the precious prize what our elders, intellectuals, scientists, and even other those who are practically involved in having this comfort to our future generation. And very little, Excellency Sir, the author of book, you might have touched the secret meeting that was chaired in White House, Multan, by the Zede Bhutto. Because our youth, they might, like me, don't know that White House in Multan. What was that White House? Actually, the residence of the then Chief Minister of Punjab, Mr. Sadiq Qureshi, his bungalow was painted white, so that's why it was called White House in Multan. Thank you.
A last question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. My name is Zaim Hassan Mahmood. I am a research officer at CISSS. Sir, my question relates to the sea-based modernization of the nuclear component by India. And so what is understood is a very different command, control, and communication system is being practiced at sea. And there are certain challenges and vulnerabilities that are at sea that are very different from the dynamics at land. So my question is, how do these developments affect the strategic security balance of South Asia, particularly from the perspective of Pakistan?
That's, I mean, that's technically a sound question because, and unfortunately, no one has an answer to that question because definitely command and control over nuclear weapons, which in Pakistan's case is the authority of the National Command Authority. In India's case, it is of a similar institution. But to maintain command and control over sea-based facility, particularly submarine, nuclear-powered submarines that are at sea for long periods of time and are at very considerable distances away from headquarters, it is very likely that communications can break down or communications can be misread or misinterpreted. If you remember, I mean, there was a movie, Hunt for Red October, if you remember, which was about a Soviet-era submarine that was lost communication and could have launched a nuclear missile. So that problem is there. It's an operational problem. It has not been resolved, and it is something that we continue to take into account about ourselves, and also more about the Indians, whether there is enough command and control. And some of the behavior that we have seen from the Indians is not very encouraging. For instance, in 2021, there was the launch of a BrahMos missile, which the Indians claimed was an accident. But a missile is not like firing a gun, which is you just pull the trigger. It is you have to go through almost 10, 15 steps to actually launch a missile. And how that was done, if it was an accident, it simply demonstrates the inefficiency, let's say, of the Indian command and control process.
Well, with that, we come to the conclusion.